Hello and welcome everyone. This is Swati, and today I bring to you a very exciting, new, improved, and a wonderful Atlassian JIRA training that is targeted at both developers and testers. So this time, what we have done is, we've had a previous, live JIRA class, and since then we've been doing like passive classes. But then we have had a lot of requests for an updated version because Jira has changed quite some from the time that it has been, since we've taken the last session. So this time we have come up with a Power Jira course that includes like all the changes in Jira that have taken place in the recent times. So we have the most current version of Jira taught, plus we are actually adding in a lot of test management add-ons, test management augmentation solutions, and we are making it a lot better. So without further ado, I'm going to take you directly to our website and walk you through all the wonderful features of this program and show you how this course can benefit you. So as you can see, our course content is updated on our website, softwaretestinghelp.org. And here you will see that, we have a detailed syllabus outline. Now, all of our trainings are usually targeted at newcomers. So we don't really ask for any requisites in terms of experience, education, none of that. So the same thing is true for Jira as well. So this course is tailor-made for anybody who's beginning out, who has an interest in learning Jira, or if you just want, if you are a project manager or a tester who's trying to, bring Jira into your test management, or if you're a developer who uses, Jira for your internal work management, this course is a perfect fit for you. Now, let me take you through what we are going to do with Jira. So if you look at the couple of core incident management system capabilities, now there is a lot of content here which you feel free to read through it, but I'm going to explain this in a very simple term. Jira treats all work. So this work might be new requirement that needs to be built, a bug that needs fixing, or it is just a miscellaneous task such as review that needs to be conducted. It treats all of these tasks as work. Inside Jira, it's called an issue. So that's basically it. So Jira treats everything as to-do items, which you can create, plan, and work and be able to see. So basically the advantages are that there is a huge scope for collaboration. So teams geographically distributed are hugely benefited. And for management, however, there is, clear visibility, transparency into the system. So it improves for better efficiency and, channels teams' energies towards actually working rather than managing work. So Jira has this very, very simple concept of issue within it. So the core concept, if you actually, look at it, is first and foremost, there is issue, which is actually, any item that you're trying to work on, any to-do task. Then these issues are categorized in the format of a project, which are further categorized as components and versions. And, to understand where exactly this process is in the life cycle stages, that means, what kind of work is being conducted at it at this point of time. If you want to get an insight into that, it is the workflow that generally helps us identify that. So I'm going to take you to the actual Jira interface now, and we will talk about what are the things that we will cover in the Jira class. And, probably this will act as a demonstration also to give you an idea of, what's going to be in Jira. So we have a Jira instance already created for the sake of this demonstration here. However, when you are going to be a part of the program, we'll start with understanding how a Jira instance can be set up. So you will have 100% complete guidance on to how to start and go from there. So what we will start with is everything that is to do with issue. So this is a very simple way in which you can create an issue. So as you can see, issue inside Jira is a task, bug, epic, or a story for an agile project. If you're looking for a much more traditional waterfall style of a project, you will have new features, improvements. So basically requirements, tasks, and bugs and etc. So issues are any work that you'll track inside Jira. So surrounding the issues, we will have plenty of topics like how do you create an issue basically, How do you attach a file, screenshot, cloning the issue, moving them, all of these things. So let me actually show you an already pre-created issue, and we'll talk about what are the things we will discuss in them. So this, as you can see, this is something that we have been already using. So in the issue navigator, I mean, once you look at an issue, we are going to talk about editing, commenting, assigning these issues to the respective people. We are also going to talk about logging work, which will affect the time tracking section, this section right now that I'm going to, that I'm just, putting the spotlight on. And there's also going to be agile projects, which I'll show it to you in a little bit. We'll also talk about voting, watching, creating subtasks, moving. So everything to do with issues, we are going to look at it in a very practical workshop sort of a manner in this JIRA program. So really working with issues forms the crux of being able to be successful with JIRA. Now, following that, we'll of course talk about what are the best practices, a few tips and tricks that can help you through it. We'll also talk about how JIRA issues can be imported from an Excel sheet. Now, this used to be a feature that could only be done by administrators earlier during project creation, but JIRA has improved itself. So even, typical user profiles will be able to import some issues into JIRA. However, this is considered a little bit of an advanced topic, but we will talk about that as well. We will include that aspect as also. We'll also talk about, generating reports. So everything that, every project in JIRA gets its own project navigation through which there are plenty of reports that you can generate. So there are different reports for Agile, there are different reports for waterfall model projects. So we'll talk about, how different charts are generated. How do we read those charts? So this is just for an agile project. I'm going to log into a waterfall and show you how that works. So when you just go on to the reports tab here, it is going to show you the various kind of logistics that you can generate through it. So it will show you, if you want to see this with respect to assignee or the components of the system, it will show you how your issues are distributed. So again, all the real-time tips and tricks will be shared on what kind of graphs are applicable in what kind of circumstances and all that, but this is to just give you a general idea. Next, we are going to move into Agile and Kanban method projects. So right now I have the Agile setup. So let me actually show you what we're going to talk about. So in the Agile projects, we all know how things work. We all have a backlog. Now, one little digression that I want to take here is how I said earlier about how our courses are meant for both beginners and experts. So that's why before we go into how to manage Agile projects, this course includes a quick recap of what agile methodology is and how is JIRA applicable to the agile methodology. So we are also going to lay out certain ground rules before we get into much more detailed things. So we'll talk about how to create a project backlog. So basically, all of your issues in JIRA are just, all of your, user stories in JIRA are basically your, issues of the type story. Now, with these, we'll talk about how we can add them to a sprint backlog, how we can start a backlog, how we can start a sprint, how we can continue a sprint, and create various Scrum boards so we can get to see the exact progress of what is going on JIRA at this point of time. Okay, so this is a Scrum board that shows the progress of what is going on and in what order, and all of those things about it. Now, if I have to show you, to really understand the value of a Scrum board, we'll have to look at an equivalent of how a Scrum board might get created, without JIRA. So so as you're seeing here, this is a real-time Scrum board that, was used in one of my projects. So as you can see the physical Scrum board and the virtual Scrum board that we're creating are simple enough, but the advantages of a virtual Scrum board, as as are apparent, is that globally distributed teams can work very easily. Any changes can be applied real time. No additional effort is going to take. So all of these advantages make it a wonderful tool that, make JIRA a wonderful tool that is much more fitting to do modern project management than to go with, the traditional methods. So we'll also, in the similar lines, we'll look at how to create Kanban tools. Now, I'll also show you how project administration works. Now, typically, project administration is not really something that we would do on a day-to-day basis. However, since cloud systems are so much more predominant, it's a good idea if you are able to do a little bit of a configuration on your Jira instance. For example, how do you create a project? How do you set a particular workflow to a project? What is a project key, and how does it get impacted? So we're going to look at all of those things in a, again, I wouldn't go into like higher level of detail here, but it would be good enough for you to get started and um, gain expertise if that happens to be your area of interest. But I would love to show you all and walk you through all of those other aspects of administration as well. Now, what this particular course, as I said, it's improved. It has a lot more in scope. Since we are a testing group, software testing help is, as the name indicates, we are more into testing, and we are more into, how we can involve and improve testers, and how they work. So basically what we've done is, now Jira by itself does not handle tests. It is something that handles issues as to do items. Like it doesn't differentiate between how it treats an issue of the type bug, how it treats an issue of the type new feature, so on and so forth. But tests are different, isn't it? Tests don't actually go through a workflow, but they have a particular status at a given point of time. So tests are an asset, or a project asset, that behave quite differently, in comparison to the other issue types within Jira. So that is why, to extend Jira into the market, into the test management market, there are a lot of additional add-ons that are available for Jira. So I'm just going to take you through them really quickly. So there are many add-ons, and I'll show you how many results it will return here. So plenty of results. So there is Zephyr, there's TestRail, there's PractiTest, there's QTest. So there's plenty of add-ons that are available, plenty of choices available when you want Jira to work for test management. So all of these solutions can be categorized into two. One is the augmentation solutions, which is like Zephyr. And what Zephyr does is it adds another issue type called test, and you'll be able to manage that through Jira. And then there are teams that already use test management solutions as such as TestRail, QTest, and all that. So they can simply add a plugin that will help these two tools interact together. So since it is practically not possible to talk about all the tools, I have chosen one tool each per category. So the Zephyr is something that is a very famous augmentation choice. So we're going to talk about how do you install it and configure it, create the issues of the type test, how do we link them, so how do we establish traceability, how do you manage test cycles, how do you run your tests, report your tests, how do you generate your test reports. All of that will be covered in this class. Similar things will be covered for a plugin solution as well. And however, when obviously, as it's always the case, whenever there are two solutions, it's a good idea to compare and contrast and get an idea of, how things work in comparison to one another. So we'll do that too as a part of this program. So this is in a nutshell what we are going to cover. In addition to all that, I'm going to go into details about how to customize your dashboard. Let me take you to the dashboard for just a second. So dashboard is kind of like the main, the first page that you see as soon as you log in. Now, what you're seeing is pretty great. Like it shows you the things about what is assigned to you correctly and what is going on as an activity in your company. But let's say you're interested in looking at a particular graph or looking at a particular analytic. As soon as you log into Jira, you will be able to customize all that and add that to your system dashboard. So we'll talk about that as well. In addition to that, there is something called JQL. JQL is to actually, query inside Jira and be able to find the two, whatever it is that you're looking for. So let me go back to the issue navigator and show you how that works. Okay. So you go to search, you can actually search, and you'll be able to save a filter so that the next time you want to search for it, you'll be able to apply the exact same filters. So basically the filter options that I'm talking about is what is called as the advanced search option. So there is multiple ways you can filter. If you want, you can add a new filter. and you will be able to use JQL, which is a Java JIRA query language, in order to find the issues that you're looking for. So I'm going to look into, and I'm going to actually show you all of that, walk you through all that, and JQL is included as well. So let me just show you how a simple advanced search will look like. So we were earlier in the new filter, area. Now in the new filter area, you have an option to go in either into the basic, where you'll be able to choose your parameters and search as normal. But if you want to go a little advanced, for example, if you want to go for project is equal to, um, you can choose that. And just like SQL, you will be able to, let's say I want to find issue type is equal to bug. So I want to actually get all the issues of the type bug and order them by the priority. Again, this is quite simple, but again, just showing you. It will display all of that by priority high all the way to priority low. So this is a great way to search for issues. So this is a kind of an advanced search. So we'll go into much more details now. There are a lot of things that you can do with this. You'll be able to export this into various formats, generate a chart based on it, put it on the dashboard. So there are a lot of things that you can do with JQL, and there is also functions and all of that, which we will look into detail. So basically, this is a quick, end-to-end syllabus of what we're going to cover in this program. So as you can see, this will really, really set you on the path to be a Power JIRA user in a very little time. So now if you're wondering, when is this course happening and what do I have to do to enroll? Here is the detail. So the upcoming batch is going to start on 24th. So this is a 4-day program. 2 hours each day, starts at 6 p.m. PST. So it starts on a Thursday. So we have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours each, 6 p.m. Now all the classes will be recorded, and all the recordings will be sent to you every single day. And these recordings are available to you lifetime. So as a bonus, we provide you the premium software testing career package ebook. So that's definitely a great book with rave reviews. So definitely check that out. Now, for the most updated price information, definitely, look at this site. And to enroll, you can actually, just use the options that are provided here. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us through the website, and we will be happy to answer you. So I hope this demo has given you a basic idea of what we are going to cover in the JIRA program. And if there's anything else that, we can help you to make a decision, that we can do to help you make a decision, let us know. We'd be happy to get back to you. Thank you, everyone, and I hope to see you all in the class. Bye, everyone.